You, my friend, are going through a rebirth or an ascension or a timeline jump, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And I'm hearing the final countdown. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So it feels like there are some things coming up in your 3D world or in your experience that are lessons that you've learned already. And I'm hearing like test, right? Like how people talk about how the universe tests you before they like put you in this new place. And I'm also hearing, I hate calling it a test. So, it's not so much a test as much as it's um a check-in, let's call it that. It's a check-in to kind of see where you're at and if you're actually ready for this new beginning, for this new timeline, for this new level, or are you going to actually fall backwards, right? Are you going to actually show that you're not ready for this thing? And so it feels like the last couple of days have been significant in kind of bringing certain things to the surface to see how you will react to them. And this is not as a test, but as a place for you to also acknowledge and recognize how far you've come so that you can recognize that, wow, when this thing came in last time, I was an absolute freaking wreck. And now it's coming in, or it's happening again, or it's surfacing again. And I actually feel fine. I actually feel neutral. I actually feel okay. Where it feels like the last time this thing came in, I was not okay emotionally. I kind of lost it a little bit. It feels like some people in this collective got angry, some people got sad. It could have been a mix of both. Like it feels like it was very chaotic when this came in last time. But this time I got it. I just heard that. This time I can handle it. This time I'm okay. And so this thing or these things have been coming in over the last couple of days to kind of ask you to check in with yourself and see how far you've come and how much you've grown and how much you've changed. It feels like I'm hearing like within the last month, even like it feels like the collective that I'm talking to has been from like through transition to transition to transition to transition and on a very quick basis. Like it feels like this has been over the course of a couple years or, you know, at least a year. And it just feels like it's happened pretty progressively, pretty quickly to the point where, this last one really made you shock yourself. I don't know what was trying to come through. Sorry. This last one really like shocked you in the way that you handled it, in the way that you held your ground, in the way that you stood up for yourself, in the way that you really just did not fall into old patterns and let this completely derail you. So I'm hearing that in the past, these kinds of things would happen and you would be completely derailed to the point where like you would check out, you wouldn't be able to function very well. You would do the minimal responsibilities, like the bare minimum is what I just heard. And you just didn't feel like you could function well after these things occurred. Where this last time around, it seems like I'm seeing like a full circle kind of moment here in some ways, where this last time around, you really showed yourself how strong you really are and how powerful you really are. I'm starting to feel vibration in my crown chakra. So you could be receiving a lot of downloads right now, a lot of like um full circle moments of understanding on why things happen. So things making sense is what's coming through. And the other thing that came through with that is like a pressure behind your nose in some way. And whenever I think about the pressure behind your nose and that sensation, it's usually an indicator that your pineal gland is clearing. And our pineal gland is what actually helps us to be able to follow our intuition and hear our higher selves and like follow that path. And it feels like you're finally like recognizing how powerful you are and how much in control of your life you actually are. I think there was a time in your life where you felt so out of control and felt like you didn't have control over any aspect of it. And this last go around, a lot of circle things coming in, is um, meant to show you like how far you've come and how in control you actually are. And I hear also that this is kind of removing the fear that you had, like this fear around what was to come, this fear around if you could do it, um, this fear around if you were going to be able to reach the goal that you're wanting to reach. Like, I feel like this oomph and power that you're feeling and recognizing within yourself is helping you to also acknowledge, like, how far you've come. And if you can come this far and get through what you've been through, then you can get through anything. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. Oh, I'm talking to some powerful baddies here. You're finally seeing yourself clearly. And it feels like a lot of things had to go wrong and a lot of situations had to go awry where you had to take the reins back, like take back control for you to realize how powerful you truly are and how capable you are. Like the other piece that's coming through here, it feels like a very significant piece of like self trust that's being just reinforced at this point in time. I feel like over the last year it's been being built, but at this point it feels like it's just being reinforced. And these last couple of things that happened are really just reminders and just showing you how much you've built within yourself and how much you can trust yourself. It does feel like it's been a tough couple of years. It's been a tough little go around here, but you're closing out a 9-year cycle. And part of this 9-year cycle closeout has been you learning to know your own boundaries, learning to recognize where you want to spend your time and energy and where you don't. And that feels like significant to what just happened recently in the last couple of days. There's was a situation where in the past it feels like you would have kept quiet. It feels like you wouldn't have said anything or done anything, or you would have just pretended like it didn't happen. And it feels like this time you actually did that very differently. You chose to move very differently. And that is partially what's helping you to recognize how far you've actually come and the amount of work that you've actually put in to be able to kind of stand up for yourself in a way that you just never really felt like you could before. It feels like there was like a fear of some sort in here that kept you from being able to do that, but you did it. And I'm just feeling like so much joy and appreciation and gratitude. It feels like there's been this release, this let go. Like I'm seeing someone drops something into a, like, it's like a black hole, kind of like it's a space where there is no bottom. I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels like you're releasing, you're dropping, you're letting it go. You're not letting the darkness hold you down anymore. You're not letting the darkness block you anymore. You're not letting the past get in the way of your present, get in the way of your future. There was a point in time somewhere here that you made a decision. You made a decision to choose yourself, and you made a decision to walk forward. And it feels like that path is not what you thought it was going to be, but is it ever? On a real note, is it ever? I'm sorry to laugh, but it just, you know, we have an idea of how things are going to play out and what they're going to look like. And never, ever, ever does that actually end up being the way things happen. It's just like we have an idea of how things are going to feel. And the truth is it never actually feels that way. And a lot of the times we had this expectation that it was going to feel a certain way. And so, because we had that expectation it was going to feel a certain way, and then it didn't feel that way, we'll say, what is wrong with us? What happened? Why aren't we feeling this thing? Right? A lot of the times we're not right when it comes down to those things. We're not right about what it's going to feel like, or what the journey's going to look like, or how things are going to be. You can't imagine where you're going to go in this life. You can try, but all you're doing is limiting yourself, right? And then there's those limiting beliefs, right, that get in the way of us actually being able to reach for the highest heights that we're actually meant to. So stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to know what's next, or stop trying to guess how it's going to feel. Because the reality is that you don't know until you know. You don't know until you're there. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I used to say this to clients all the time. It's like one of my favorites. But having expectations and holding on to those expectations so tightly, right? It's like wiping your ass before you shit. What's the point? What's the point, right? Let go of the expectations. It feels like, though, that you're starting to realize that. You're starting to let go of the expectations. You're starting to let go of the way things are supposed to feel. You're starting to let go of the way that things are supposed to be. You're starting to let go of ways that you think things are supposed to play out. Nobody actually really knows those things. And because of free will, it's ever changing, right? So continue to release those things into the depths. Continue to release the things that are blocking you. Continue to let go of what is not necessary in this exact present moment for you, for your joy, for your contentment, for your desire, for your peace. Anything that is not going to bring you peace right now is nothing that you need to continue to hold on to. It's nothing that you need to continue to grasp. Anything that is hurting you from being in peace right now, or keeping you from being in peace right now, is meant to be released and let go of. So just know that you're well on your way, and let go of how. I'm going to end the message there. I am a psychic medium, obviously. I also do empowerment coaching. and I do spiritual guided work. And so if you do feel like there are blocks blocking you, keeping you from being able to move forward, keeping you from being able to have your peace, please feel free to check out my personals. You can schedule on there. I also have courses online to help people kind of move through these things if that feels like more your cup of tea. I have journals to help you do that as well. I just wrote a couple of them and released them, and so I'm really excited about that. So please take a look. I have a lot of things to help people heal. And if you'd like one on one, you can also take a look at my bio for that. I love you. You got this. Keep going.